It was in the autumn of 1945 that the German people, the people of Germany, got together and decided to make all things Nazi, all things Gestapo, all things that had any reference to Adolf Hitler illegal. Not nasty, not unfortunate, illegal. It was necessary. When you come across a situation where racism is in the place, and what is racism? Racism is when we deny the fact that no one is better than anyone else. When you reach that point, you have to call it illegal. The fact that we have not, after all these years in the United States of America, have not made racism illegal is probably one of our greatest shames. Is it going to infringe on the right of some people to believe in the illegality of racism? Yes. It doesn't stop us with anything else. It doesn't stop us with anything else. You can't joke around about wanting to kill the President of the United States. If you do, there's going to be a knock on your door later that afternoon from the Secret Service. We have restrictions on things in America, and why we choose to ignore that about racism and leave it to just folks to discuss and come up with something on their own. It's like walking into a room with toys and bringing kids in and saying, hey, you guys decide what you want to play. It doesn't work well. They don't play, they fight. They don't play, they fight over what they want to play. Racism is like that. That's why we have a third-degree racism. Third-degree racism is when you say a comment like, this green person is dumb. Second-degree racism. This green people are dumb. First-degree racism. All green people are dumb. It's really simple. We don't need to complicate it and pretend like, well, how can we determine what's racism? When you don't give people their rights and you think you're better than them, that's racism. There's your definition. If you don't give people their rights and at the same time you feel that you're better than them, you are a racist. And it should be illegal. It should produce fines. And what are we going to do with this money that we collect from people who are so callous to still be racist? How about using some of that money for reparations for the slaves? For the slave people, for the people who were descended from slaves. We've been talking about reparations for a long time. But here's some money we could take. We could take the money from the racists and give it to the people who suffered under their racism. Reparations taken out of the fines levied against people for racism until finally racism is nasty. You can always tell when you're part of a bad philosophy. If you're part of a bad philosophy, you're looking for assholes. If you're part of a good philosophy is this. While I'm waiting for the assholes to change, I think I'll work on my asshole. That's a good philosophy. To me, that's what I follow is Christianity. You know, I'm not going to worry about your assholism. I'm going to work on mine. And I'm working right now on my own racism, my own prejudice, and my own careless comments. Those first, second, and third degree foul language in my own life, because it must become illegal to do this in our country, or we're just playing around. Am I right? If we really want to do something, we pass a law. If we don't want to do something, we discuss it in Congress. If we really want to do something, suddenly there's a legal rule for this thing with a fine on it. But if we don't, we have the parties consider it at their next platform meeting for their convention. Can you make up your mind? Can you decide that racism is illegal in this country? Because until we do, we're just going to fly around and pretend like it's an issue of conscience. It is not an issue of conscience. It needs demolition. There is no redemption in it. What can we do now to set this in motion and make racism illegal?